Earth's final warning was dismissed, and humanity sealed all paths. The sky above Earth was quiet. But that calm did not last. In the vast darkness of space, sensors on the orbital defense station picked up a fleet moving faster than anything humans had seen before. Captain Daniel Moore stared at the display, his heart tightening. The ships were enormous, sleek, and deadly. They belonged to the Clythar, a species that had conquered planets without mercy. For months, humanity had been monitoring them, but now the threat was real. Daniel tapped a button and called his officers together. Commander Laura Hayes, his second-in-command, entered the room with her usual calm expression, though her eyes were sharp with concern. "Captain, this is not a drill. They are heading straight for the outer colonies," she said. Daniel nodded. "Send a warning to the Galactic Council." "They need to know. If they listen, maybe this can be stopped before it reaches Earth." The Council had always looked at humans as small, unimportant players in galactic politics. They would probably dismiss the warning, Daniel thought. Still, it was his duty to try. Meanwhile, on the surface of Earth, Claire Bennett, a lead engineer on the Secret Fleet program, was working late in her lab. Sparks flew as she connected a final circuit. Liam Carter, her assistant, leaned over her shoulder. "Do you really think they'll listen to us?" he asked quietly. Claire shook her head.
"No, that is why we have to be ready on our own."
"If the Council does nothing, humanity has to defend itself. We cannot wait for others to act." Deep in the orbital station, Daniel sent the message to the Council. It was precise, urgent, and clear. The Clythar fleet was fast, organized, and deadly. Earth and its colonies could not survive a direct attack without help. Then he waited. Hours passed. Messages came back, not with concern or instructions, but with polite dismissal. The Council believed Earth was exaggerating. They had dealt with smaller threats before and saw no reason to panic. Daniel's hands clenched into fists. The warning had been ignored. On the colonies near Mars and Jupiter, life went on as usual. Farmers, scientists, and children continued their routines, unaware that danger was approaching. Jack Sullivan, a young pilot in training, was practicing maneuvers in a simulator. He loved flying, dreaming of exploring the stars, but he had no idea that soon he would face a real enemy. Back on Earth, Claire and Liam were already preparing the hidden fleet. Ships larger than the Council could imagine were being readied in secret hangars underground. Each vessel was armed with weapons designed by humans, tested on simulations that mirrored Clythar tactics. Civilian volunteers helped load supplies and fuel, their hands moving quickly, their eyes serious. They knew the danger, even if most of the galaxy ignored it. Commander Laura Hayes called a meeting with the top officers on the station. "We need to plan every possible scenario," she said. "If the Clythar arrive, there is no room for mistakes." Daniel looked at her. "We have one advantage. They think we are weak. That underestimation will give us a chance to strike first, strike smart, and survive." The night passed slowly. Satellites above Earth watched the Clythar fleet growing closer, each blink on the radar warning. Families on Earth slept, unaware that the world was holding its breath. The Council continued to ignore the messages, debating minor issues instead of preparing for war. On the orbital station, Jack Sullivan joined a briefing with senior pilots.
"You will be ready," Laura said. "This is not a training exercise."
"Every maneuver you have practiced will be tested. Every decision could save lives." Jack nodded, feeling a mix of fear and determination. He had dreamed of space battles and simulators, but now it was real. Claire and Liam checked the automated defense systems around Earth. Laser turrets, drone squadrons, and orbital shields were all functional. They had worked day and night to build systems that the Council would never approve in time, systems that could protect humanity even without allies. Daniel walked through the command center, observing the screens and sensors. His mind raced. The Council had ignored him, yet here he stood, ready to defend Earth. If humanity failed, no one else would intervene. In the outer colonies, small reports of alien probes began to surface. Miners on Jupiter's moons saw strange ships moving in patterns too precise to be natural. Scientists studying Mars's atmosphere noticed disturbances in communications. Panic started to grow quietly. But without leadership from the Council, people could only hope that Earth's defenses would be enough. Laura called Daniel into the strategy room. "They are entering the outer systems now," she said. "We need to decide. Do we engage, or do we let them probe further and gather information?" Daniel's eyes scanned the fleet data. The Clythar had powerful shields, fast fighters, and massive command ships. "We strike," he said firmly. "But carefully. We cannot afford to lose ships unnecessarily. Our advantage is surprise and human ingenuity. We hit where they are weakest and show them they underestimated us." On Earth, Claire finalized the new weapon systems. Small ships carried powerful energy projectors that could disable enemy engines. Automated drones could attach to alien ships and cut their systems silently. Humanity had prepared for every type of attack, and now the moment was coming. As the Clythar fleet approached the first human colony, the orbital defense station went into full alert. Lights flashed, alarms rang, and every officer took their position. Daniel and Laura watched the screens with steady hands, giving calm commands to the nervous crew. The first ships appeared in orbit. They were larger than anything humans had faced, sleek and deadly. Yet humanity was ready. Fighter pilots launched, drones deployed, and hidden warships moved into position. The Clythar expected easy conquest. They would find something else entirely. Jack Sullivan led his squadron through the first wave of enemy scouts. He felt adrenaline rush through him as lasers streaked past. His hands moved automatically, every maneuver practiced countless times, but now with real danger. He could hear the radio chatter, the fear and determination of his fellow pilots. In the control room, Daniel issued commands. "Engage drones! Target engines first! Avoid civilian areas! Protect the colony!" Every officer worked quickly, calculating trajectories, targeting weapons, and monitoring shields. Claire and Liam watched from their lab, monitoring the fight remotely. "They are holding," Liam said, his voice tense. Claire nodded. "They are stronger than expected, but humanity has prepared. We will not lose." The first skirmish ended with several Clythar ships damaged, engines failing and some retreating. It was a small victory, but a victory nonetheless. The aliens had underestimated humans, and that mistake would cost them dearly. Daniel looked at the screens, breathing slowly. "This is only the beginning," he said. "They think Earth is small, weak, and defenseless. They are about to learn the truth." In the colonies, people watched the skies as human ships moved with precision. Hope and fear mixed together. Humanity had been dismissed, ignored, and underestimated, yet now it was showing its strength. For the first time, the galaxy would see that Earth was ready, prepared, and capable of defending itself. The night was far from over. The Clythar would not retreat forever. But humanity had survived the first encounter. Captain Daniel Moore, Commander Laura Hayes, Jack Sullivan, Claire Bennett, Liam Carter, and countless others had proven that even when dismissed, humans could rise to the challenge. The warning had been ignored, but the preparation had not. And as the stars above Earth continued to shine, humanity stood ready, silent and determined, waiting for the next move in a war that no one else had wanted to acknowledge. The Clythar did not stop after the first skirmish. Their fleet, though damaged, reorganized quickly. They had underestimated humans once, and they would not make the same mistake twice. Captain Daniel Moore watched the sensors closely, his mind calculating every possible move. The humans had surprised the aliens, but the fight was far from over. Commander Laura Hayes stood beside him, her eyes scanning the displays. "They are coming back in greater numbers," she said. "This time they will try to hit harder." Daniel nodded. "Then we need to be smarter. Every maneuver, every attack must be precise. We cannot waste ships. Far below, on Earth, Claire Bennett and Liam Carter were working in the underground command lab. The alarms had awakened the city's emergency teams. Lights flickered across the walls as engineers, technicians, and volunteers rushed to prepare the hidden fleet. Claire studied the readouts from the orbital station. "They are stronger than we expected," she said. But the humans are ready. We just have to make sure our ships can survive their counterattack. Liam checked the new drone systems. The Clythar ships are fast. If our drones can disable even a few engines, it will give the fleet time to react.
At the orbital station, Jack Sullivan and his squadron were already preparing for their next sortie.
His hands shook slightly as he adjusted his helmet, but his mind stayed sharp. "We can do this," he told his fellow pilots. "We survived the first wave. We will survive the next."
The Clythar fleet emerged from the darkness of space like shadows in the void.
Their ships glimmered under the light of distant stars, each one bristling with weapons. The humans watched silently, waiting for the first move. Daniel gave the order. "Deploy drones. Launch fighters. Target their engines first. Hit them where they think we are weak." The drones surged forward like swarms of metallic bees. They moved with speed and precision, attaching to the alien ships, cutting wires and disabling engines. Explosions rippled through the enemy ranks as their ships lost power, spinning helplessly in space. Jack led his squadron through the chaos, dodging enemy fire with practiced skill. Lasers streaked past him, and the hum of engines filled his ears. He fired at the alien fighters with careful aim, taking down one ship after another. His team worked together flawlessly, covering each other and striking at weak points. From the control room, Daniel monitored every move. "Good work," he said to Laura. "But keep them separated. If they regroup, they will overwhelm us." The Clythar realized that their usual tactics would not work. The humans were coordinated, disciplined, and clever. They did not panic under pressure. They adapted. Every attempt to break the human formation was met with a counterattack. Every strike was anticipated.
On Earth, Claire adjusted the energy projectors. "The drones are holding them back," she said.
"Now we need to hit their command ships. That will cause confusion and give the fleet an advantage." Liam nodded. "I've prepared a set of ion bursts. They can disable the command ships without destroying them. That will give us control over the battle." Daniel saw the opportunity. "Laura, target their command ships with every available weapon. Focus fire, but avoid unnecessary damage. This is our chance." The orbital fleet moved like a single organism. Ships weaved through the debris, firing at key targets, while drones attached to enemy vessels, disabling engines and weapons. Jack and his team executed complex maneuvers, circling enemy ships and striking where shields were weakest. Explosions lit the darkness, but the humans were precise. Not a single ship was wasted unnecessarily. Each attack was calculated, each movement deliberate. The Clythar could not understand how humans thought so quickly, acted so decisively, and worked together so flawlessly. Back on Earth, civilian volunteers watched the screens in awe. People like Maria Thompson and young engineers like Ethan Riley helped coordinate supply ships and fuel deliveries to the orbital fleet. Every person, no matter their role, knew the importance of this fight. Humanity's survival depended on everyone working together. The Clythar tried to send reinforcements, but the humans had prepared for that too. Hidden fleets emerged from secret bases, ambushing the reinforcements before they could reach the main battle. Alien ships were damaged or forced to retreat, unable to support the main fleet. Jack dodged another laser strike, feeling his heart race. "We're pushing them back!" he shouted over the radio. His squadron cheered, but they did not let excitement distract them. Every ship, every pilot, every weapon mattered. Daniel smiled slightly as he watched the chaos unfold. Humanity had survived the first wave, and now they were taking the fight to the enemy. The Clythar were strong, but they were predictable. Humans were clever, adaptable, and relentless. That was a combination no alien had ever faced before. In the heat of battle, small acts of bravery made a difference. Young pilot Laura Kim rescued a damaged human cruiser, guiding it through enemy fire and saving hundreds of lives. Engineers on the orbital station repaired shields in record time, keeping critical ships in the fight. Every action counted, and humans were learning quickly. The Clythar became desperate. Their ships moved faster, fired harder, and tried to regroup. But the humans anticipated every move. Drones continued to disable engines, fighters flanked enemy ships, and hidden fleets blocked escape routes. The alien commanders could not believe what they were seeing. Claire adjusted the energy projectors again, focusing on the Clythar command ships. "Now," she said, pressing a final sequence. A wave of ion energy swept through the enemy formation, disabling communications and navigation. The alien fleet was thrown into chaos. Ships collided, engines failed, and fighters spun helplessly. Daniel watched with satisfaction. "This is what preparation looks like," he said to Laura. "We planned, we trained, we worked together. They never expected it."
On the colony near Jupiter, civilians watched the battle from their observation stations.
Fear was still present, but so was hope. Humans could fight. Humans could survive. Humans could win. Jack and his squadron continued to press the attack. Every strike was precise, every maneuver deliberate. The Clythar command ships were crippled, and their fleet was losing cohesion. For the first time, they began to retreat. Laura Hayes contacted the fleet. "They are pulling back," she said. "Maintain pressure, but do not overextend. We control the battlefield." Daniel nodded. "Good. This is only the beginning." But it proves something important. Humans are not weak. We are not to be dismissed. We survive, and we fight back.
Back on Earth, Claire and Liam smiled as they watched the alien ships retreat.
Humanity had survived the first real wave of attack. They had proven that they were ready for war, even if the galaxy refused to see it. In the orbital station, Daniel addressed his officers. "Remember this day. Remember how we worked together, how every person mattered, and how preparation saved lives. The Clythar will return, but they will remember what it means to fight humans." Lara added, "And we will be ready. Every time. They may be stronger in numbers, but humans are smarter, faster, and more adaptable. That will be our advantage." Jack landed his fighter back on the station, exhausted but exhilarated. "I never thought I could feel so alive," he said to his team. "We actually did it. We survived." Maria Thompson, helping to coordinate supply ships, looked up at the viewports. "We are just getting started. This is what it means to defend Earth, and we will not fail." The night continued as humans prepared for the next wave. The Clythar had been pushed back, but they were not defeated. Daniel, Laura, Claire, Liam, Jack, Maria, and countless others knew that this was only the beginning of a long war. But for the first time, humanity had shown that they were not weak, not helpless, and not to be dismissed. Above Earth, the stars shone silently, witnessing a species that refused to be underestimated. The humans had learned to fight together, to use strategy, and to rely on every citizen's contribution. The Clythar had assumed they would be an easy target, but they were wrong. Very wrong. Daniel looked out at the fleet, feeling pride and determination. "We have survived the first test, but the galaxy will continue to doubt us. They will continue to ignore warnings. That is why we must be stronger, faster, and smarter every day. Humanity will not be dismissed. We will fight, and we will survive." In the quiet moments after the battle, pilots cleaned their ships, engineers repaired systems, and civilians tended to the wounded. Even in victory, the humans prepared for the next attack. They knew the Clythar would return, and this time they would bring more firepower. Jack Sullivan sat quietly in the hangar, thinking about the battle. He had faced fear, chaos, and death, yet he survived. He had learned that humans could fight smarter than anyone expected. He had learned that humans could work together, even under pressure. He had learned that humanity was not weak. Claire and Liam returned to their lab, adjusting weapons and drones for the next engagement. "We need to be ready," Claire said. "They will come back, and we must be stronger than before." Liam nodded. "They think they can destroy us, but humans do not give up. We adapt, we survive, and we fight back." As the first light of dawn touched Earth, the planet was still standing. Its people were tired, but not broken. The Clythar had underestimated them, and they had paid the price. Humanity had survived the first true wave of war, and they were already preparing for the next. Daniel Moore, standing on the observation deck of the orbital station, watched Earth slowly rotate beneath him. "This is our world," he whispered, "and we will defend it, no matter what comes." They may dismiss our warnings, but we will not be dismissed. The Clythar fleet had been forced to retreat, but they would return, and when they did, they would face a humanity that was ready, united, and determined to protect its home. Every person, every ship, every weapon had a purpose. Humanity had learned a lesson that the galaxy would never forget. When humans fight, they fight with everything they have, and they never give up. And so Earth and its people waited, trained, and prepared, knowing that the next battle would come soon. But for now, they had proven that even when dismissed, humanity could survive and fight back. And that was only the beginning of what was to come. The Clythar had retreated, but Captain Daniel Moore knew it was only temporary. Their fleet had been damaged, their command ships disrupted, but they would return with reinforcements. The humans could not wait passively for the next attack. They had to act first. "Laura," Daniel said to Commander Laura Hayes, "we need to seal the paths. Every route into human space must be blocked. They cannot escape, and they cannot bring reinforcements." Laura nodded. "We have the ships and the drones. If we place them strategically, we can control all hyperspace routes and choke their supply lines." On Earth, Claire Bennett and Liam Carter worked on the final calibrations of the automated defense systems. "This is going to be the largest deployment we've ever attempted," Claire said. "If it works, we can control every approach to Earth and the colonies." Liam studied the maps. "We have enough drones, enough automated fighters, and enough warships. We just have to position them perfectly. Timing will be everything." In the orbital station, Jack Sullivan and his squadron prepared for another sortie. "We have to move quickly," Laura said. "Every hyperspace path we can block will slow them down. We need to hit their fleet before they regroup." The humans moved with precision. Hidden fleets emerged from secret bases. Drones flew ahead of the main ships to disable enemy engines, and automated turrets lined known entry points to Earth's space lanes. Every corner of human territory was covered, every approach monitored. Daniel monitored the deployment from the command center. "They think they can regroup and attack again," he said. "But they will find no easy path. Humanity is ready. We control the battlefield." The Clythar fleet appeared at the edge of human-controlled space. Their sensors scanned for openings, but every route they had once used was now blocked. Drones swarmed to intercept them, striking first at engines and weapon systems. Alien ships were forced to slow, dodge, and retreat. Jack Sullivan led his squadron through the thick of it. Every move he made was calculated, every shot precise. Lasers streaked across space as drones disabled critical systems on Clythar ships. The humans moved like a single unit, coordinating attacks and covering each other's flanks. Back on Earth, Claire watched the results on the screen. "They're trapped," she said, excitement in her voice. "They can't escape. Every path is sealed." Liam nodded. "Now we can control the pace of the battle. We decide when and where to strike." The Clythar cannot surprise us. Daniel gave orders to strike key enemy targets. "Focus on the command ships first," he said. "Once they lose control, the fleet will fall apart. Target engines second. Disable their mobility. Then, and only then, attack the weapon systems." The humans worked together flawlessly. Fighter squadrons moved in complex patterns. Drones disabled ships silently, and hidden warships struck where the enemy least expected. The Clythar could not keep up. Their formation broke apart. Ships collided and engines failed. In the chaos, small acts of heroism made a difference. Young pilot Emily Parker rescued a damaged human transport, navigating through enemy fire and saving hundreds of lives. Technician Maria Thompson patched critical systems on a warship in orbit, keeping it operational despite damage. Every human acted as part of a larger plan, and their cooperation amplified their strength. The Clythar commanders were desperate. They tried to force a breakthrough, sending small groups of fighters to test weaknesses, but every attempt failed. Humans anticipated their moves, striking before the aliens could react. Jack Sullivan maneuvered his fighter through a narrow gap between alien cruisers. His squadron followed, disabling engines and weapons on multiple ships in minutes. "We're cutting them off!" he shouted over the radio. Laura Hayes coordinated from the command center. "Keep pressure on them," she said. "Every ship we disable weakens the rest. They cannot escape." Daniel watched the results on the tactical screen. "This is the advantage of preparation," he said. "We anticipated their moves, trained for every scenario, and now we control the battlefield completely." On Earth, Claire and Liam worked tirelessly, sending updates and recalibrating the automated drones. "Every path we block," Claire said, "means one less chance for them to strike back. Humanity is becoming untouchable." Liam smiled. "It is only possible because every person, every ship, every drone is working together. The Clethar cannot match this level of coordination." The battle continued for hours. The Clethar tried to regroup several times, but each effort was met with precise strikes, clever ambushes, and traps set by human engineers. They realized finally that they were trapped in human-controlled space, unable to advance or retreat. Daniel ordered the next phase: send in the automated drones to disable their remaining command ships. Once they lose control completely, we can begin to reclaim the systems they threatened. Jack and his squadron moved quickly, escorting the drones as they attached to enemy ships. Explosions erupted as engines and communication systems failed. Alien ships drifted helplessly, unable to maneuver or fight back effectively. Back on Earth, civilians cheered quietly at the success. They were part of a planet-wide effort that no one else had seen coming. Engineers, volunteers, and military personnel all contributed to the defense. Humanity had transformed its weakness into strength, its fear into determination. The Clethar fleet was in disarray. Ships were spinning without control, weapons were offline, and communications were dead. Humans had not only blocked every path, but had turned the battlefield into a trap. The aliens were at the mercy of the human strategy. Daniel and Laura coordinated the final strikes. "Focus fire on the remaining weapon systems," Laura said. "We do not need to destroy every ship, just enough to make them powerless." Jack maneuvered his fighter through the wreckage, disabling weapons on several Clethar cruisers. "We are almost done," he said. "Keep pushing." Claire and Liam monitored the automated systems. "Every strike is perfect," Liam said. "We've turned their strength into a weakness." Daniel smiled. "The Clethar thought they could conquer us easily. They have learned a harsh lesson. Humans are not weak. Humans are clever, adaptable, and relentless." The alien fleet, now crippled, began to retreat in small groups, but escape routes were blocked by hidden human warships. Every hyperspace exit, every possible corridor, was monitored and controlled. The Clethar could not flee, could not regroup, and could not recover. Jack's squadron flew in formation, herding the remaining alien ships toward the main human fleet. "We are hurting them," Jack said. "They have nowhere to go." Laura coordinated strikes from the command center, ensuring that no Clethar ship could escape. "We control everything," she said. "They cannot surprise us, and they cannot escape."
On Earth, civilians and military personnel alike felt pride.
Humanity had done the impossible. They had turned their planet into a fortress, blocked every path, and trapped an alien fleet. The galaxy might have ignored Earth's warnings, but humans had proven that they could handle threats alone. Daniel addressed the officers on the orbital station. "This is what preparation and unity look like," he said. "We have blocked every path, trapped their fleet, and taken control of the battlefield. Humanity has shown its strength." Jack returned to the station after escorting the last drones. He was tired but exhilarated. "We did it," he said. "We controlled the battle. We blocked every path. They cannot escape." Claire and Liam continued to monitor systems, ensuring that every drone and weapon was ready for the next encounter.
"They may come again," Claire said, "but now we have the advantage. Every path they might take is sealed."
"They cannot surprise us." Daniel looked at the stars outside the station. "The Clethar will return," he said quietly. "But they will know that humanity is prepared. They will know that they cannot underestimate us. We have shown the galaxy that we are not weak, and we will never be ignored again." The humans watched the Clethar retreat, knowing that this was only a temporary pause. Every ship, every drone, every volunteer had contributed to sealing the paths and taking control. Humanity had turned the tide, proving that preparation, coordination, and clever strategy could defeat even a superior enemy. Even in the quiet moments, humans remained vigilant. Engineers repaired damaged systems, pilots trained for new maneuvers, and civilians contributed wherever they could. Every person knew that the next attack could come at any time, and humanity would be ready. Daniel stood on the observation deck, looking at Earth below. "We have sealed all paths," he said. "They cannot move without us knowing. This is the advantage of intelligence, preparation, and unity. Humanity will survive, and we will dictate the terms of this battle." Laura joined him. "We have done what the Council refused to do," she said. "We prepared, we acted, and we won control of the battlefield." Daniel nodded. "Yes, and the galaxy will notice. They may have ignored our warnings, but they cannot ignore our strength. Humanity is ready. Humanity is powerful. Humanity will never be underestimated again." As the stars shone silently above, humanity stood victorious for now. They had sealed every path, trapped the enemy, and taken control. But we proved that humanity can protect itself. And now the galaxy knows. Daniel nodded. "They will never underestimate us again. We fought, we survived, and we sealed our place in the stars. Humanity has arrived." Jack, walking through the hangar, looked at the other pilots preparing for future missions. "We are ready," he said. "No one can challenge us without consequences." In the labs below, Claire and Liam continued refining technology. Every improvement, every update, made humanity stronger. Every weapon, every drone, every ship contributed to a future where Earth could never be dismissed. Daniel returned to the command center, looking at the tactical screens one last time. The Clythar fleet was neutralized, the hyperspace routes were blocked, and the humans had full control. "This is our world," he said quietly. "We will defend it. We will never be weak again, and the galaxy will remember that Earth is not to be ignored." The stars outside shone quietly, witnessing a species that had survived the impossible. Humanity had been dismissed, ignored, and underestimated. Now they had proven their strength, their intelligence, and their unity. The Clythar fleet would never threaten Earth again, and the galaxy had learned a lesson that could not be forgotten. When humans fight, they fight with every ounce of skill, courage, and determination. And so, Earth and its people looked to the future. Strong, prepared, and united. They had sealed all paths, trapped the enemy, and shown the galaxy that humanity was a force to be reckoned with. Captain Daniel Moore, Commander Laura Hayes, Jack Sullivan, Claire Bennett, Liam Carter, Maria Thompson, and countless others had written the first chapter of a new era. Humanity had survived, and humanity would thrive. The stars above Earth shone on a planet that would never again be underestimated. "We won't fail." Daniel gave the order to begin. "Strike teams, deploy. Drones, move to key targets. Fighters, follow the paths we plotted. Focus fire on command and weapon systems first. This is humanity's final warning." The human fleet moved like a single organism. Fighter squadrons darted through space. Drones attached to enemy ships, disabling engines and weapons, and hidden warships struck from unexpected angles. The Clythar commanders could not comprehend the coordination. Every human move was precise, deliberate, and deadly. Emily Parker led a team of fighters to intercept enemy cruisers attempting to regroup. Her hands moved automatically, dodging lasers and returning fire. She guided damaged ships away from danger, saving hundreds of lives. Every pilot, every ship, every drone acted in unison. From the command center, Daniel monitored every strike. "Keep them separated. Focus on command ships first. Once they lose control, the rest will collapse." Laura coordinated communications. "Jack, take the northern flank. Disable the cruisers there. Drones will cover the central group. Hidden fleets will cut off the southern retreat. Jack maneuvered with skill, dodging enemy fire and striking weak points on the Clither ships. "We're hitting them hard," he said over the radio. "They're losing control fast." On Earth, Claire watched the energy projectors fire. "They're frozen," she said. "Engines offline. Weapons offline. Communication dead. Humanity is in control." Liam nodded. "We've done it. Every path is sealed. Every ship is trapped. Now we can finish this." The Clither fleet was in chaos. Ships collided, engines failed, and weapons systems were destroyed. They had underestimated humanity, and now they were paying the price. The humans had not only trapped them, but also dismantled their ability to fight. Daniel gave the next order. "Prepare boarding drones. Disable the remaining ship systems completely. We want to capture their command ships if possible. This is our chance to end this war without unnecessary destruction." Jack led his squadron to escort the boarding drones. They moved quickly, guiding the drones to the last functioning Clither ships. Explosions erupted as engines and weapons failed one by one. Alien ships spun helplessly, drifting in space. Claire monitored the process from Earth. "They are completely cut off. Humanity controls every aspect of this battle." Liam added, "It is beautiful in its simplicity. Preparation, coordination, and teamwork have turned a weaker species into a power the Clythar cannot overcome." Daniel observed the tactical screen.
"They are surrendering," he said quietly. "Not because we destroyed everything, but because they understand they cannot win."
Humanity is not to be underestimated. Laura looked over at him. "This is the moment we've been preparing for. The Clither will remember this day. They will never threaten humans again." Jack landed back on the orbital station, exhausted but exhilarated. "It's over," he said. "They cannot escape. They cannot fight. Humanity controls everything." In the command center, Daniel addressed his officers. "We have shown the galaxy what humans can do. We defended our home, trapped the enemy, and forced surrender without needless destruction. This is the power of preparation, unity, and intelligence." On Earth, Claire and Liam watched the news reports coming in from the colonies. Civilians were cheering. Engineers and scientists were celebrating quietly, and families were hugging each other in relief. Humanity had survived the war and proven its strength. Jack walked through the station, looking at the other pilots. "We did it," he said. "We showed them humans are not weak. They tried to dismiss us, but we fought back. We won." Maria Thompson, coordinating supply lines and logistics, smiled. Every person contributed. Every ship mattered. "This victory belongs to all of humanity." Daniel looked at the stars beyond the station. "This is not just a victory for Earth," he said. "It is a message to the entire galaxy. We are ready. We are strong. We are united. Humanity cannot be ignored." Laura joined him. "They dismissed our warning," she said. "They thought we were small, weak, and unprepared. They were wrong. Very wrong. Back on Earth, civilians and military personnel worked to repair damages, restock supplies, and prepare for any possible future attacks. The humans knew that the Clither were only one of many threats in the galaxy. But this victory had changed everything. Humanity had proven it could defend itself, and it had done so with intelligence, teamwork, and courage. Daniel addressed the fleet one last time. "Every pilot, every engineer, every volunteer has shown that humanity cannot be underestimated. Today, we defended our world. Tomorrow, we will continue to be ready. Let this victory remind the galaxy. Humans are clever, adaptable, and relentless. We survive, and we thrive." Jack Sullivan looked out at the wrecked Clythar ships, some drifting, some captured. "We did it," he said softly. "They will never forget this day." Claire Bennett and Liam Carter began planning the next generation of drones and weapons. "If they come again, we will be even stronger," Claire said. Liam smiled. "We have learned from every move they made. Humanity grows stronger with every challenge." Daniel walked along the observation deck, watching Earth below. Cities lit up, colonies were safe, and people were returning to their daily lives. The planet had survived because humans refused to be weak, refused to be dismissed, and refused to give up. Laura Hayes joined him. The council may have ignored our warnings, she said. The Clythar had learned their first lesson. Humans were not weak, and they could not be dismissed. And on Earth, every person, every ship, and every drone prepared for the next step, knowing that the true challenge was still ahead. But for the first time, humans knew they could face it and win. The Clythar fleet was trapped. Every escape route blocked, every supply line cut, and every approach to human space monitored and defended. Captain Daniel Moore watched the tactical displays with a quiet satisfaction. Humanity had done the impossible. They had sealed all paths and controlled the battlefield. But this was not the end. The final step had to be taken. Lara, Daniel said to Commander Laura Hayes, we cannot just hold them here. We need to finish this. If we strike now, we can force them to surrender or destroy their ability to fight altogether. Laura nodded. Agreed. Every ship, every drone, every weapon will be part of this operation. We hit them where it hurts, and we leave no chance for recovery. On Earth, Claire Bennett and Liam Carter coordinated the final weapon systems. Automated drones, energy projectors, and fighter squadrons were ready. Every team knew their role. Volunteers and engineers moved calmly but quickly, ensuring every system was fully operational. This is the biggest operation humanity has ever conducted, Claire said. If we succeed, the Clythar will never threaten our space again. If we fail, she did not finish the thought. Failure was not an option. Liam checked the drone control network. All drones are online and ready. Automated fighters are in position. Every hyperspace exit is blocked. They cannot escape, and they cannot call for help. The timing has to be perfect. Jack Sullivan prepared his squadron. His young face was tense, but his eyes were focused. We've trained for this. Every maneuver we practiced, every scenario we imagined, it all leads to this moment.